Hey guys, thanks for joining me. My name is Joe Tyson from Joe's Shrimp Shack. I decided to start a series called A Day in the Life of a Fish Store Owner. I had a couple friends that actually suggested that I do this, and I didn't know how I felt about this. I know I had a lot of good stories about customers and about my struggles going in and out, but I decided since it's the new year to go over and make a series about that. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment on what you'd like to see on here. I think for the first episode, what I'd like to do is talk about how I became my own fish store. I would say, and I can give you the brief rundown on it. Started back in the early 2017, where I went to a local fish store, Petco, and I saw a couple cherry shrimps in the tank, and I said, who would ever want to go over and have these in their tank? They looked pretty well, almost like a waste of money. And I passed up on it, picked up a fish tank, went home and went on Facebook and I Googled freshwater shrimp, and I saw that Minnesota had a couple pages on it. Joined the page, reached out to a couple people, and met up with one of the breeders, a local breeder named Jeff Lidberg, and made an appointment to go over there. Talked to him for like maybe an hour and a half, and he told me about this local nonprofit, local fish club. It's called Minnesota Aquarium Society, MASS we like to call it. It's the second longest running nonprofit fish club in the nation. It's been going since 1930. It's a great club. I think there's over 200 active members on there. They meet every single first Thursday of the month. They fly people in, have barbecues, have auctions, have a plant extravaganza. It's a great group if you want to get more into this hobby. I went over and I bought some shrimp from Jeff, went home, set up my tank. Well, my tank was already set up and cycled, put my shrimp in there, and one tank led to two tanks, led to four tanks. Started getting more and more into the hobby, started reaching out on Facebook, getting to know a lot of the national people out there: Eric Martins, Eric Lucas, Grant Eater, Chaz from Elevate Shrimp, Han Tron, a lot of people out there that it's hard for me to give everybody the props that they deserve, but there's a lot of great experts out there, along with a lot of local people. If it wasn't for my local friends, Jeff Holter, Dan Rowe, Tyler Volk, Milo, a lot of great people out there. It's tough to give everybody props from over the years, but they pushed me, and I love the encouragement they gave me. They thought I was actually going to get burnt out because I was going really fast, really strong into it, but that just pursued me to want to do it even more. I went over and entered in my first shrimp contest in 2017. I entered the Blackberries, excuse me, which is the Neocaridina. I won my category. Met some great people out there. Jeff and I made a trip out there, and we met Rob Lupton from Flip Aquatics, Lucas Bretz, Therese O'Neill, Chris Luca, Manny, and Paul from JBJ. And it just pursued me to do a lot more with this hobby. Because I would have never thought, only being about a year into this hobby, that I could win my first category by, I bought some shrimp and I was breeding them out, and I was taking out all the ones that I thought were ugly. I reached out to Grant, and Grant said, look, in a contest, this is what they look for. And I just did a random scoop, and I grabbed a bunch of females and a good male and brought them to the contest. From then, I volunteered for the next contest, and I want to do more. Went to the third contest that I entered, and as Teresa's assistant, we had some hiccups there, but I ended up picking up a lot of slack and went over, and it just pursued me a lot more. They then offered, after that was all said and done, to organize the International Shrimp Contest USA. I took it. I don't get paid for it. It's just a passion of mine that I want to do this. Chris Luca has flown out here. We had a barbecue for Minnesota Planted Tanks. ran for board for the Minnesota Aquarium Society. I got elected by the people to be on the board for it. Helped out with the Fish Expo for 2018. Went over, and I was still breeding horses at that time. And then a local fish store called Wave Aquaria, Doug and Jennifer Warner, offered me a position out there to take over their freshwater. It took me like a month and a half to 2 months to actually think about this, because I really loved my job at Magnuson Farm, and they pushed me a lot to find what I want to do in life, and encouraged me on it, got excited, for things that I was doing in the aquatic field. So I want to thank you guys, if you guys are watching. I took the position with Wave Aquaria. I'd say within 6 months, they offered me, part ownership. I accepted it. Went over and still had a passion for the shrimp. My landlord then went over and said, "Look, Joe, this isn't natural that you have all these tanks." At that time, I had 55 tanks. He goes, "This isn't natural that you have all these tanks." And I'm like, "Hey, I can bring you to some of my friends' houses and they have more tanks than I do." And he's like, "No, you got to get these out of here." I ended up going right by Wave Aquaria. There's a company called Auto Marine Buddies. They were doing our maintenance on our vehicles for us. I asked if he had a place to rent. He offered me this beautiful place that currently I'm at right now. I did it, put on my racks with Tyler's help, and started doing this. And I kind of put Joe's Shrimp Shack on a back burner as a time thing. I still was doing it, but I wanted Wave to be successful. And then, met a lot of great friends over the shows and stuff, and got monetized by YouTube, got sponsorship from Bulk Reef, sponsorship from Shrimp King, Deneral, JBJ, local friends, Linda, she makes my shirts for me, she makes my tank decals, a portion of her sales goes to like nonprofits. I love everybody that I became friends with, and I want to push this hobby into something that it's meant to be. It's a big popular thing. A lot of companies, CChem's getting into it, Aquion's getting into it. They see the hobby growing, and that's what I want to do is push this. I like going to talks and giving talks about shrimp. I like going to contests. I like going to all the shows out there. I'm trying to work out right now with going to more end consumer shows, pushing the hobby a little bit further, to get more people involved with it. I then decided that, maybe this is something that I want to do more. I know I could have just kept on doing it the way I wanted to do, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll do a local fish store. The first, retail spot, brick and mortar fish store based on shrimp. Now, I'll carry some fish and I'll carry some plants, which I'm setting up those 2 racks. But this is what I wanted to do. I then, had Tyler come over and we built racks, and as you see here, this is 75 tanks right here. I got more expansion over here of 2 more racks, and if it wasn't for my customers, I don't know what I would do. My customers kind of push me to do more and more. I have a lot of support from my customers and my friends and my family to be successful at this. I try and get different stock that people want. Try and stay in the cutting edge of new products that are coming out there. If it wasn't for you guys, doing this, I don't know where I'd be. I want it to be successful. What I would really like is, I opened up a private Facebook group a few years ago. It was called Minnesota Co-op Tanks. Right now it's private. And what I ideally wanted to do is I wanted to open up a fish store that was kind of set up like a nonprofit, that local breeders, if they wanted to showcase their fish, their shrimp, their plants, whatever, that they could go over and sell stuff there. For them, there's a lot of thoughts and ideas, and it's a lot of great ideas that have been passed around, and I'm trying to do that where if someone's breeding something, I can buy from them. I want to support the local people just like they support the local fish store. Now, I know in this market there's a lot of imports coming in. there's pros and cons about getting imports. You know, yes, there's bacterias and diseases on imports, and you know, you can get breeders from over there shipping male heavy bags, and it's tough because if we don't have the local, you know, breeders, you know, keeping up with the demand, people have to get the imports. And there's a lot of people that want great shrimp at a super low price, and that's where imports come into play. I'd rather get homebred stuff from people, you know, if they have it. If I can't keep up, I do a lot of shipping. I do have a lot of customers that come in here and want to pick up stuff. But, you know, I do have to get fresh blood coming in there and new stock that people want. Because if you kind of look at it, if a shrimp store like myself sell a gentleman, let's say 20 fire reds, you know, he's going to start his colony, and then, you know, he's not going to really need that. So you have to keep on the cutting edge of what's coming out there. What I would like to do is get more of the local breeders to reach out to a lot of these wholesalers, you know, Flip Aquatics, myself, Eric Lucas, and a few others that are willing to, you know, take it on trade or take, you know, shrimp at a decent price. But there's a problem is it's tough as a store, you know, to buy shrimp at a retail price when we, you know, want to breed them and we want to sell them. You know, we need to make money. We have rent, we have insurance, we have employees' costs, we have a lot of different costs that are involved with this one. So you got to be kind of generous with when you sell it to them, because we have to go like to a wholesale cost on there. It's not like we're trying to be, you know, cheap and everything else, but it's just got to be logical sense for us. And what I want to do in my store is I kind of want to have a giant man cave. You know, I'm trying to set it up as a giant man cave, get a couch in here, get it as a hangout. In the summertime, I'd like to have, you know, a barbecue out here, barbecue on the weekends, have people come here and just want to hang out. I got a arcade game for the kids that come in here. You know, I try and bring treats for people when they come. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it when my customers come and bring me food. You know, I've always loved that. You know, but if it wasn't for my family, my friends, old employers, you know, pushing me to be successful, I don't know where I'd be. I want this to be, you know, a great fish store locally. I mean, yeah, I know it's not the best location out there, but it's a good location. It's off a couple highways there, so it's easy to go to. I want to hit more shows. I want to go overseas. I want to go to Taiwan. I want to go to Germany. I just want this to be successful. And if you guys can go over and give me some ideas for what you want to see and what you would want to cover, if you want to do live streams and everything else, I would love to do that. You know, if you get a chance, stop up here, hang out, you know, ask me some questions. You know, I stay on my phone till almost like 2:30 at night, answering emails, instant messages back and forth. So when I say my life is about the aquatics, it is about the aquatics. You know, I've been single for a long time, and it's always, I'd say these past, since 2017, has been just about aquatics. Everything I do is based around aquatics. I go hang out with friends, we're talking about aquatic stuff. If I go someplace, it's about shows, it's, you know, but this is what I want to do. I want to teach the people, you know, how to be successful in breeding shrimp, doing aquascapes, growing plants, and the only way that's possible is by you guys encouraging, you guys subscribing, you guys following. You know, it gives more encouragement out there. You know, I love everybody in the hobby, and I know there's a lot of shrimp companies out there, but you got to find the one that you like and that you trust, and follow what they have to say. There's a lot of information out there on the internet, and there's a lot of trolls on Facebook that will want you to either not succeed, or they just want to get a rise out of you. You know, look past that, you know, and strive forward with it. I just want to thank you guys for watching this. I know I did a lot of rambling on. It's not really scripted. I just kind of was sitting here on New Year's Day, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to make a video. So thank you guys for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, leave a comment on there, share this, you know, get my page, you know, really popular and stuff like this, so I can get more encouragement of what I want to do videos on and stuff. So please stay tuned. I'm going to give a fish room tour as well. I want to get all my planted tanks going. I want to get all my fish tanks going. And you guys have a happy new year. And thank you guys very much.